welcome guys to the new Mistweaver video. Now I know a lot of people have been asking about, hey, has Mistweaver's been... Mistweaver's good now. Mistweaver's interesting now. Have the changes been substantial enough to do it? And I can confirm that Expel Harm does in fact, or should work with Monk Mastery, Custom Mist. So basically one of the biggest concerns from a lot of the Mistweavers in the Mistweaver community was that a lot of the abilities didn't work with your Master Custom Mist, and Blizzard directly looked at that, and you have to give juice to Blizzard because they did change it. They did change Chi-Ji to work, or Wave the Crane, or a version of Wave the Crane because it's a lot different now, to work with Custom Mist, same with Expel Harm. So they are listening in terms of some of the concerns. Now I am running the same Night Fae ability, Faeline Stomp, which has been changed to basically directly hit in front. So that was a big gripe by a lot of people. It was like, why? Because before that, you used to hit like 5 yards in front of you, and then you would have to move mobs because you want to fight on top of Faeline Stomp to actually have a chance of resending it, like right now. So the biggest changes, what happened? Chi-Ji, Wave the Crane, all of a sudden right now works with Custom Mist, and then reduces the cost and cast time of your next enveloping mist by 33%, stacking 3 times. So what we need to do when you activate Chi-Ji is hit the boss or mobs with your abilities to get instant cast enveloping mist. And enveloping mist, every time you cast enveloping mist, is going to cast enveloping breath, or Chi-Ji is going to cast enveloping breath. So right now we use Chi-Ji, we get 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, instant enveloping mist, blackout kick, instant enveloping mist, tiger palm, tiger palm, tiger palm, instant enveloping mist, blackout kick, instant enveloping mist, tiger palm, tiger palm, tiger palm, instant enveloping mist, blackout kick, instant enveloping. Okay, guys, you get the idea, right? You get the idea. You get the idea. And this is an absolutely insane amount of healing because I need to heal this guy. This is an insane amount of healing because I'm also using a legendary. I need to make sure that everyone's safe. I'm using a legend that every time I'm using Renewing Mist, it's going to apply this buff, Extend Life. Extend life, and every time I'm going to be using Vivify on Enveloping Mist, it's going to replicate that, or 50% of that healing onto targets that have Extend Life. So you get even more splash healing. So when you heal with Enveloping Mist or Vivify, 50% of the heals is also applied to the targets with your Extend Life. And this has like a beacon type of effect as well. So all of a sudden, not only your Vivify is going to splash heal on Renewing Mist targets, but your Renewing Mist is also going to extend another form of splash healing. So you're basically a splash healer extraordinaire type of deal. But I do have to mention that the most fun interaction is Enveloping Breath from Chi-Ji. Enveloping Breath from Chi-Ji is going to heal like up to 5 targets when you cast Enveloping Mist. If you have your Renewing Mist extend life on that person, there's going to be some crazy extensions happening, or crazy healing. So I mentioned that I used or showcased the use of Chi when you are getting Tiger Palm and things like that. There's definitely different ways to optimize it, especially before you're going to be using your big cooldown, and that is Wave the Crane. Again, I'm referring to Wave the Crane, but it's Chi at this point. So there is definitely more complexity, and I want to say this in the best way possible. Again, I should not stack in front of the boss here. There's definitely a lot of complexity in terms of what you're going to be casting during your Chi and what you're going to be casting before it. So for example, maybe you want to get as many Renewing Mist out as possible in order to apply your Extend Life through the legendary, and then getting, again, you're also going to get some splash healing, and then also getting Essence Font out, and then making sure you have a couple of stacks of Teachers of the Monastery. Like for example, right now I'm going to get 3 stacks of Teachers of the Monastery. I'm going to use Chi-Ji, I'm going to use Blackout Kick, I'm going to use Instant Enveloping Mist, I'm going to go Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Instant Enveloping Mist, again, Tiger Palm. I could have used Blackout Kick there as well. Again, you have to remember, every time I'm using Enveloping Mist, my Chi is also casting Enveloping Breath, which is also going to be doing like splash healing, splash AoE healing. So there's a lot of different like repeated abilities that also get affected and have a really nice synergy with the legendary. Again, every time you, it seems like the name of the game is getting as many renewing mists out as possible, using your rising mist to extend your HOTS before going into Chi-Ji. That's including things like your Essence Font Mastery as well, or Essence Font HOTS in order to proc your Mastery. You have to remember that Chi-Ji now works with Gust of Mist. So that's really important to also remember, because for the longest time, like I mentioned at the start of the video, is that Mistweavers really wanted more abilities to be affected by it. In terms of the pure HPS this provides, it seems to be very, very, very strong. And definitely, again, I should mention, I've talked about this a lot, that Mistweavers had a lot of broken things, a lot of broken abilities, a lot of broken legendaries. They have fixed the Fistweaving legendary as well. So now it does proc off Rising Sun Kick, and it does work off your Blackout or Teaching the Monastery kicks from Blackout Kick. So there has been, you know, an approach to fix Mistweaver. But I think a lot of people are asking, is it kind of late or is it going to be finished in time? And I feel this change, even though it seems to be pretty small, well, I shouldn't say small, but the change with Chi-Ji definitely adds a lot of complexity to the spec. So the Extend Life Legendary works in a really interesting way. So for example, if I use Renewing Mist just on this on the tank itself, they're going to get Extend Life. If I use Enveloping Mist on myself and somebody else, the combined healing of those Enveloping Mists is going to be transferred, or at least 50% of all of that is going to be transferred onto the target that has Extend Life, which is really interesting because it works like a beacon transfer type of deal. Not sure if this is going to be the intended usage of it, but there's these kind of nuances. For example, Mist Wraps, which extends the duration of your Enveloping Mist, also extends the duration of Enveloping Breath, which is cast by your Chi-Ji during your Chi-Ji when you cast Enveloping Mist. So there seems to be like Blizzard has copied over certain abilities, copy and pasted them, and they still work with certain talents, even though they're supposed to be, you know, something else. We're gonna go Blackout Kick, Instant Enveloping Mist, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Instant Enveloping Mist, Blackout Kick, Instant Enveloping Mist, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger. Now the reason we're casting Tiger Palm and Tiger Palm, because we want to get our Blackout Kick to cause an instant Enveloping Mist afterwards. You have to keep in mind, every time you get a stack of this Enveloping Mist reduction, it also reduces the cost of your Enveloping Mist. So your Enveloping Mist is actually free when you have, or it's almost free, when you have 3 stacks. So people might be like, hey, Enveloping Mist is gonna cost so much mana. If you play it properly and you get 3 stacks during Chi-Ji, it costs it costs very little mana. So there is definitely a lot of synergy here. I should mention that I'm also using the Night Fae ability that I talked about before with Faeline Stomp, that if you use it, again, it has been buffed in terms of it goes right underneath you. But the HOT that it applies to people, the Essence Font HOT, is actually different from the HOT that you get when you cast Essence Font. It's a different spell ID. And the HOT from Faeline Stomp does not proc double mastery, which is really weird. Again, there's these weird interactions with Mistweaver in terms of how they copy over the spells and the spell ID. Okay, we didn't get Tiger Palm in time. We use Tiger Palm, and we get 3 Instant Enveloping Mist, Blackout Kick, Instant Enveloping Mist, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm. The healing from this is actually ridiculous. Like, I don't know. This has to be one of the... It's kind of ridiculous how much healing you can get. I'm healing through all of the... I'm healing through most of the diseases here, which you don't even have to do it. The healing from this, it makes such an insanely strong cooldown. I should mention that a lot of people have been talking about, like I mentioned, I use Viability to get all the diseases out. A lot of people have been talking about Invoke Chi-Ji, but it does replace Yulon. Yulon has received a decent amount of changes as well, but apparently it is kind of broken right at this given point, so I didn't really test it. I wanted to test out Wave the Crane instead, and Wave the Crane is definitely impressed in terms of the pure HPS throughput that it can provide. It feels like an insanely strong cooldown. It is 2 minutes. It does cost around 5% of your base mana. So in terms of rotation that I showcased about using Chi, by no means is it going to be the best or whatever. This is something that I've been experimenting for a little. Well, there's something that I've been trying out in terms of Chi, and you can see it that it does take some thought before you're gonna use it and after you're going to use it. In terms of the healing, you can see that the Gust of Mist, again, there's 2 Gust of Mist, one for Chi and one the normal one. So like I mentioned before, it all falls into the Blizzard copying the same spells and assigning different IDs. And there's a lot of healing, and this is what I talked about in terms of enveloping breath. This is the uplifting mist, which is your legendary that I'm using, but this does not count the fact that every time you use renewing mist, you're gonna get extend life. This increases all healing by the monk by 15%. So it doesn't paint the clear picture of how strong you can be as well. You can see, generally speaking, this is a meaningful cooldown. I'm not saying Way of the Crane in BFA was not a meaningful cooldown, but this is definitely something that's going to add a lot of HPS. This is going to make Mistweavers a bit stronger in Mythic Plus, especially with Prideful, because Prideful is such a big AoE affix. Definitely looks like it fits Season 1 Prideful Mythic Plus performance quite well. It is 2 minutes, it is about 5% base mana. It can be optimized in a lot of ways. It has a lot of synergy with the legendary, which gives you extend life if you use Renewing Mist. Generally speaking, there's a lot of splash healing with this legendary. There's also a Fistweaving legendary, but I'm not sure if that's going to be viable because it only heals 1 person, but it has been fixed. I think that general consensus, there has been a lot of issues, like, you know, the healing spheres don't seem to work. It doesn't seem to be here yet. There seems to be a lot of things that need to be fixed, but so I feel like Blizzard is trying. We'll just see how it's going to happen in terms of like enjoyment. I think it's pretty fun. In terms of viability and, you know, is Mistweaver going to be an optimal choice in raids and Mythic Plus? We'll see later on.